Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hey. Are you there? Hello. It's Liv.
Oh, and Amy. And
And this
welcome.
is Girls Gone Spooky.
We'll get the intro one
A
day.
chaotic intro. We have been good.
Yeah, we have. It
Okay,
depends on the
we'll
mood.
do a redo. I'm
Okay.
Liv.
And I'm Amy.
And this is Girls,
Girls
Gone Spooky. Ooh.
Much more professional.
Much more professional. I'm gonna leave the first one in though.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah. Hello? Hello? No,
It's a
this
good
is
way to start.
Patrick. Stupid, so stupid. Okay, you little freaks. Well, tomorrow is the big day. Valentine's Day. So we're gonna creep you out with some kind of love-ish themed stories.
Yeah, love adjacent.
Love adjacent. And I figured I would start with a real one that I just found to be like creepy, scary, witchy. Anyway, I'll just read it. The list goes on. The list goes on. Okay, what is happening to me today? Okay, this is from Throwaway Mod 1989. This is from a year ago. I started seeing a gal, not the type I normally go for.
Normally go for.
Really strong start. Not the type I normally go for, but she was attractive, and a mutual friend said she was completely stupid over me. So I figured, what the hell? Break my dry spell, if nothing else. I ended up hanging around for the sex and even expressed that I wasn't interested in a serious relationship, but she had other ideas about where it was going. Out of nowhere, a few months into hanging out, I just could not get enough. She became intoxicating to me, and I needed to be around her. I got possessive and dependent, and it was clearly bordering on an unhealthy obsession, but she loved it. I was sprung, and I do not get like that easily. My grandma, who was the one who figured out she had been feeding me cuckoo soup.
Whoa.
Menses.
Oh my God.
In my food to cross me up. It took grandma and her practitioner friend 3 days of intense work to get that shit off me. Basically, an exorcism. Whoa. So be wary of the red sauce, fellas. I won't eat a woman's spaghetti till I'm sure she's not working on me.
Oh my God. Is that
Can
real?
you yes. This is not the first I have heard of this.
Whoa.
But yes. Yeah. Gross. Don't do that.
Or do. I'm just kidding.
Or do. It's Valentine's Day, ladies.
It's kind
You're on the rag,
right?
Pretty sure it's brujeria, but like, yeah, harmless. Yeah. Yeesh, Amy.
I'm joking.
I know.
Never
okay.
do that. But it's kind of like
you wouldn't, but you're encouraging others. You would encourage others. Maybe. And honestly, whatever. Yeah. You know what, you guys? We're not here to judge. Okay?
Yeah. We're here
love.
To encourage witchcraft.
Yeah,
That's
witchcraft.
All. Yeah.
Practice your craft, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and then this person also had a second story. A friend of mine in town finally got with this girl he had been pining after for a really long time. He was determined not to even allow for a chance of her leaving, so he tried to hire me first to do an obsession working on her, and I flat out refused because I don't do those workings. I'll cross someone up I'll cross someone up if I need to and they deserve it, but I don't meddle with the free will of the innocent. And just for context, sorry I didn't open with this. This is from the witchcraft subreddit, and the prompt was share your obsession / love spell backfire horror stories. All spells welcome. So they had an opening that just like the OP like didn't have like anything crazy. Although I do love their username. It's Sirens and Spells. I was like, ooh. Cute. Yeah. Cheeky.
I like that.
Okay. So back to this. So like they had been worked on, and then he I don't know why I'm assuming it's a he. I guess it could be a woman too. But anyway, they also work on others. So the friend, he's like, no can do to the friend. The friend ends up hiring another practitioner in town. I don't know her path or tradition really, so I don't know what working she did. I know he had to give the worker some of his semen and some of her arousal fluids, which he did by sneaking a pair of underwear post foreplay. That is all I know about the details of the working. Whatever it was, it worked, and she got really into him. It backfired, though, because he didn't know that she was a practitioner herself. I didn't even realize, and I can usually kind of tell, so I guess she put one on him, too. So for a while, it appeared like fairy tale love. They moved in together down the road from me, got to where he wouldn't even leave the house, though. My buddy decides it's going so well that he can just stop paying the worker that he hired. Did not realize that some workings need to be done repeatedly in order to keep working, and as soon as the effect wore off of her, she left. She moved out, left him utterly stupefied and basically homeless. So a new lady moved in, and he started doing yard work for them for free. Seemed like he couldn't get away from the house. And if there was no work to be done, I'd see him just standing at the fence, staring at the garden she'd kept when they lived there. So he was like still like hooked on her. Yeah. Well, I got suspicious and decided to poke around that garden, and sure enough, in the back corner, just under the dirt and hidden under a brick, was one of his dirty work socks. She'd basically tied him to the house and never undid the work, so he was still tied to it even after she lost interest and left. I, of course, uncrossed him then and properly disposed of the spell. Wow. So, just a cute activity for Valentine's Day, ladies. Slipping some menstrual blood into pasta sauce, stealing lightly or heavily used undies.
My God.
People, no bodily fluids, okay? Just no bodily fluids. No. Wow. It makes me think of add a bit of thy long tongue.
Yes.
Name that movie, fans. Name that movie.
Do it. Wait.
It's hocus
I caused a problem. Yes. I have a tech issue. Okay.
Oh no. What has happened?
I somehow moved my tab into a new window. And it didn't disconnect. Everything's fine. Okay, cool.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay. Excellent. I knew it was hocus pocus.
I know. No, I knew you knew. I didn't know if everyone listening would know. Or hocus pocus, as Kathy Najimy said to me personally in my cameo video.
I don't think we ever told anyone about that.
Oh my God, that's true.
Hocus pocus.
So this is romantic, so I can tell it today.
Yeah, that's true.
On this day, the eve of Valentine's Day. My now fiance, before I had to have a surgery, he hired Kathy Najimy, who plays Mary in Hocus Pocus, which is my favorite movie in the entire world of all time ever. And she recorded like a 2-minute thing for me. It was longer than that, I think. It was really long. It was like maybe 3 minutes. Like, just like, Noah tells me that you're having surgery and I just am sending you all of the good juju, and I think that like this is going to be so good for you, and it's just going to be a little blip and everything's going to be fine, and just so lovely. And she was like, it was also around my birthday. She's like, I hear you also have a birthday coming up. That's fabulous. Like, it was just the sweetest thing. So basically Kathy Najimy and I are like best friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, she calls it Hocus Pocus. So now I call it Hocus Pocus. Yeah. She's like the Regina George of spooky girls.
Katie Heron wore army pants and flip-flops.
So I wore army pants.
Call it Hocus Pocus.
I call it Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Anywhooser, that was my first little story. Your turn.
Perfect. Sorry for the interruption.
No, please.
I have it figured out. So, this is a short-ish one.
Okay,
and
great.
It's romantic because it's at a wedding, but it's scary as hell. So
it's scary as hell.
Yep. This is from Blair Daniels, and it's called I Went to a Wedding. The groom would not stop smiling.
Ew. Ew.
You can already tell where this is going.
Yeah, it's got a similar to peeking or peeping.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or grinning. Any of those keywords are not it. Okay, proceed.
Yep. Here we go. So, I went to my cousin Ava's wedding a few days ago. I'm still processing what's happened. I'll try to get everything out as best as I can. Ava has been dating some guy named Ethan for the past year. Being in their 30s, they sort of fast-tracked the whole marriage thing. I never met the guy, and I hadn't spoken to Ava in a few years, but what the hell, it was guaranteed to be a fun time. The groom walked down the aisle first, a tall, pale man in a dark suit. He stood at the front of the church and smiled. He smiled when Ava walked down the aisle. He smiled as they kissed after being pronounced husband and wife. He smiled as they walked out of the church. It didn't strike me as...
Stop!
Stop it. Close your mouth. It's like me and Louie.
Oh my God. Stop biting. Stop smiling.
No bite.
No bite.
I got a puppy. I don't think we've shared that either.
Oh my God.
Just telling people.
I'm gonna I'm gonna write this down, the time of this. I'm gonna edit in a photo of him so everyone can see him because he's such a cute little baby demon.
So cute. Yeah, but he's a Cujo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Working on it. It's all good.
Yikes. But, okay. It didn't strike me as weird until we got to the reception. When they entered, he was still grinning that wide grin with his perfectly white, straight teeth. But up close, it looked, I don't know, wrong somehow. He wasn't really engaging with guests. He wasn't talking or laughing. He was just sort of scanning the place, staring, grinning wide without it really reaching his eyes. Exactly. Yeah, we needed the visual. Ew.
You're welcome, everyone.
I don't like it.
I'm gonna do that at my wedding.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm gonna be so spooked. Just you don't want any bad photos taken of you.
No.
So you just smile the whole time.
No, the bad photos of me are gonna be me cackling with my mouth wide open and my nostrils flared. That's gonna be 50% of the photos. Can't wait.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing, but it's also funny. It's like master the soft smile. I'm like, I don't know how. I'm like this.
Yeah, it just doesn't. That's cute. It just doesn't look natural though.
No, it doesn't.
Like, yes, forced.
Gentle.
Gentle smile.
Anyway, it's more like this.
And that's better. It's more true.
It's more just authentically you.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Okay,
but if
sorry.
you're grinning in a weird way,
I won't.
I won't,
I promise.
Face.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Noah would be like, stop!
Yeah. Someone would notice for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So he's smiling. Oh, they said, I guess he's smiling for the camera, I told myself. Or maybe he's feeling awkward and he figures nothing will go wrong if he just keeps smiling. It got really weird, however, when they served dinner.
Oh.
I watched him sitting at the sweetheart table with Ava, shoveling chicken piccata into his mouth as he still grinned. So awful. Probably like falling out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, God.
Not a good visual.
No.
It says barely opening his mouth wide enough to get the bite, immediately closing it, making loud chewing noises as he chewed while grinning. Have you ever seen someone chew their food while grinning? It is completely unnatural looking.
Yeah, very unnerving.
Smiling with your mouth closed, sure, but showing all your teeth grinning as you chew, it was so weird. They eventually came to our table to say hi. I couldn't tear my eyes away from his face. He was still grinning. His wide blue eyes were jittering from person to person at the table. His face looked like a mask. There was no warmth. It was like looking at a statue. I whispered this to my sister once they left. There's something seriously wrong with him. Why is he smiling like that? My sister thought I was being a catty old maid. Well, old mister. Shut up, he looks fine. No, he doesn't. He looks like he's madly in love, she snapped back. Stop being jealous. Jeez, Matt. That hurt. It honestly did. None of the other guests seemed to think that anything was wrong. They thought it was all fine, him grinning through the first dance, through the speeches, through the fucking champagne toast. He tilted the champagne flute into his grinning mouth without spilling a drop somehow.
Just like... Ew.
Oh, terrible.
So terrible.
Okay, this is so weird. I excused myself to use the bathroom, but that was my first mistake, not realizing he had disappeared from the dance floor. As I was washing my hands, a stall door swung open behind me. In the mirror over my shoulder, I saw Ethan standing there.
Oh no,
Ethan,
no.
His skin looked milky white in the bright lights. His blue, bulgy frog eyes stared at me. And he was smiling.
Of course he was.
I don't mean that he saw me and then smiled. No, when he opened the stall door, he was already smiling. He walked over and began washing his hands at the sink next to me, even though there were 3 other sinks. Our shoulders bumped. Great wedding, I mumbled, trying to be friendly. He turned to look down at me, slowly. His eyes bored into mine. My heart began to pound. Music's great too, I said nervously, trying to fill the silence. He just stared at me. That's when I realized he hadn't said a single word the entire wedding. There were no vows. He just nodded when the officiant asked if he would take Ava as his wife. He didn't thank the best man after the speech, and I hadn't even seen him talking to Ava at the sweetheart table, just smiling and staring. I backed away. His eyes tracked me as I went. Just as I reached the bathroom door, he stretched up to his full height and stared down at me. He looked even taller than he had in the reception hall somehow under the fluorescent lights. Then he stopped smiling. As his face relaxed, his cheeks sagged, his forehead drooped. The skin of his face began to shift and slide. I froze as his face began to pull and separate from his skull.
Oh.
He grinned, and everything snapped back into place. Weird. I have finally leapt into action and darted out the bathroom door. I went back to my sister and grabbed her arm. We have to get out of here. Ethan, will you shut up already? She said, barely even looking at me. And then Ethan sauntered in, long legs taking him smoothly across the dance floor. He slowed as he passed our table on his way back to Ava. He reached out and squeezed my shoulder. It's been 3 days. The skin of my shoulder is pulsing with pain, like it's infected somehow. And I can't help but notice, every time I look in the mirror, my face looks a little saggier, a little looser, like it isn't quite attached the same way anymore. So I've started smiling, just to hold everything in place.
Ew, 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 ew.
Isn't that scary?
Ending. No.
I know. So, don't know what that is.
Like this, Amy.
Oh my god. It's perfect. I hope that that's the little, screen capture that Riverside does every time.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail. That's what I meant.
That's funny. I hope not. I'll change it if it is. Unless it's funny, then I'll include it.
Then you have to keep it.
Oh, okay.
Scary.
Here we go. Poison Creole Soul. Also a good username.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is titled Library Romance. January 22nd, 2015. This was posted 11 years ago, so it was 2015 when this was posted. Okay.
My god, 2015 was 11 years ago.
Oh my god. Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
That is kind of how it feels.
I know.
That's the year
I know, that's when we
graduated.
graduated. That's...
Yeah. Anyway.
That is crazy. Okay. January 22nd, 2015. My vacation has been wonderful so far. I mean, I haven't really done anything besides not work, but I really needed this break. My therapist said that journaling can relieve anxiety, and I desperately need that. Ever since my dad died, I've just been on edge, honestly, even paranoid, really. That's also why I needed some time off work, I guess. I needed to find a way to cope besides pulling 70-hour work weeks. Writing about this is making me feel uncomfortable. Oh, and I think I'm going to go to the library today, mostly just so I can get out of the house. January 23rd, 2015. I picked up some good books from the library. I think I may have made a love connection too. Haha. There was a man there who was looking through the different autobiographies. We bumped into each other quite literally as I was reading the description of an MLK Jr. book. He apologized immediately, as I did, or as did I, even though I had just been standing there. He had a strong jawline, wavy brown hair, and bright blue eyes. Basically, the perfect looking man. He chuckled at my apology and asked what I was looking at. I offered to show him mine if he showed me his. Winky face. Ha! Yeah, right. I could barely speak around this guy, nevertheless flirt with him. While I was tongue-tied, he continued talking. He showed me some book about religious superstitions that he had just finished. Somehow, between a lot of awkward nodding and forcing my mouth closed so I didn't drool, I agreed to read the book. I don't really remember a ton of what he said about it, but I just remember the sexy wink he gave me as he said goodbye. Talk about a movie moment. January 24th, 2015. I spent all day drinking tea and reading. The book is a little boring, to be honest. It doesn't help that I keep daydreaming about sexy library man. I just woke up after passing out on the couch. It's about 3 a.m., and it is taking all of my energy to write. I'm trying to convince myself that it's worth it to move to my bed. I have a feeling that my back will thank me in the morning, though. I just have to get up anyway to clean up this bloody nose. January 25th, 2015. I'm so tired. I think I'm coming down with something. Maybe it's related to that bloody nose. It feels like there's something hanging on to me, like sucking the life out of me. That could also be the book I'm reading rubbing off on me. LOL. These stories can be intense. January 26th, 2015. Supposed to go back to work today. Way too sleepy. Still sick. Eating lots of chicken noodle soup and resting. Reading more books as well. Extended vacations are fun. January 27th, 2015. Exhausted. Hard to think. Difficulty talking. Book getting weirder. Monsters are scary. January 28th, 2015. Creepy demon steals words. Spoken and written both. Used many. Starting to run out. January 29th, 2015. Last two. Help, please. I found this journal in my daughter's apartment. Her boss called me after she didn't show up for work for 3 days in a row. Every time I called her, she would answer the phone and then no one would speak. So I finally decided to just go over there. I'm a little paranoid after my husband died. I guess it worked out this time. I found her on the couch and she looked awful, like she hadn't showered or eaten in days. She's at the hospital now, but she's completely catatonic. All she can do is breathe and blink. It's like she can't even think. And I never did find that book.
God, that's scary.
Scary.
Gave her the book.
A demon. A demon.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Your turn.
Okay. I have a longer one, so we'll see if I need to paraphrase. That's the word I was looking for. Okay.
You got it. You found it pretty fast.
I just had to do that.
Let me just take a sip of my water.
Yeah, do it.
It's hard just to not then dump it out.
Spill it out. Try it later with some chicken piccata.
I will.
Let me know how it goes.
We're making Mediterranean cod tonight, so I'll give it a try. You know what? I'm going to do it to Noah, and I'm not going to tell him what. I'm just going to wait for him to notice me.
Oh. That'll tell you whether he's observant or not of you.
He'll notice that. I can guarantee he'll notice that. Yeah. Man. No, he'll notice that. One time I went up to him, you know how I dye my, everyone. Hey, everyone. I dye my eyebrows with Just for Men. Okay. I like them a little darker than they
Yes.
naturally are, just a shade. But when I do it, I look like Groucho Marx when it's first done because you paint it on and then it turns like black, like really black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, not my best look ever. I came over to him and smiled like, hee,
Yeah,
look at my funny eyebrows. And he was like, what?
What are you doing?
And I was like, notice anything different about me? And he scans my whole body and he's like, no. And I was like, my eyebrows. He was like, oh, yeah, you're dyeing your eyebrows. I was like, don't act like you noticed. You didn't notice.
That's so interesting.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The things that
It really
they miss.
made me laugh. Yeah, it really, really made me laugh though. Because other things he's very observant about. I'm like, this is like selective hearing, I think.
Yeah.
It's like selective seeing.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's fine.
Okay. So this is from Robert Mort is their username. Okay. And it's called, "My husband insists on keeping this one painting of a woman. And the only reason that this is Valentine's Day is because it's a couple. Okay. There's no other mention.
That's okay.
Okay. So when my husband and I first got married and moved in together, we had a few fights on personal space, on chores, and on decor. Namely, my husband insisted on keeping this weird painting of a woman. Who is she? I'd asked when I first saw it, leaned against a mountain of moving boxes. Dunno, got it at a rummage sale. It was an original painting, oil, I think, judging by the way the light reflected off the brushstrokes. It depicted a young woman standing in a dark room, looking over her shoulder at the viewer. She was actually rather beautiful, blonde hair falling over her shoulders like a waterfall, a white cotton dress, a dainty heart-shaped face that was somehow haunting rather than cute. She was illuminated brightly, but the room behind her was dark. The contrast and her pose reminded me a little bit of a girl with a pearl earring, but it didn't feel classy or pensive or beautiful. Instead, it felt creepy. Especially because my husband insisted on hanging it above our bed.
Oh.
Too far.
Too far.
I mean, it's a beautiful painting, I said, but it just doesn't fit with our modern decor. Neither do your Funko Pops.
Funko Pops! Yeah, girl, you don't have a leg to stand on. You got those things around.
I don't even know what a Funko Pop looks like right now.
They're those big ass head things. They're like they're Pop Mart. It's the same brand as looooove.
Yeah, no.
Not for me with the square heads. Not for me.
Yeah, okay. That's a good argument. She says, okay, but they're small. This painting is enormous. For Pete's sake, this woman is nearly life-sized. I want to keep her where she is. It seemed like a big deal to him, so I dropped it, but it wasn't easy. Sometimes I woke up in the middle of the night with the horrible feeling that I was being watched. Then I'd look up and see her haunting gray eyes staring down at me. I'd never get much sleep after that. And there was the one time I swear she moved. Was her hand always like that? I asked Eric after getting into bed one night. Her left hand. The fingers are kind of open, like reaching out behind her, like she's waiting for someone to grab her hand. Yeah, she was always like that. I could have sworn she was not always like that. Then again, I generally avoided looking at the painting. It was so uncomfortably realistic. When I stared into those gray eyes, I almost felt like I was making eye contact with a person. I lasted 2 weeks. Then I begged Eric to move it. Can we please move this painting somewhere else? I really hate looking at it when I'm going to sleep. It's the nicest piece of art we have. It belongs above the bed. What about the sunflower one? That's just a print, he complained, and it's so basic. Come on, I'll move my Funko Pops out if you move the painting out. He heaved a long sigh. Fine, I'll move her. That was another thing. He often referred to the painting as her. It was weird. So, he moved it to the stairs, but honestly, that was worse. Every time I went downstairs, there she was, staring at me from above the landing with those gray eyes. At least when the painting was in the bedroom, I was usually asleep or facing the opposite direction. I hit my breaking point a few days after that. For some reason, I couldn't sleep. After tossing and turning for an hour, I decided to go grab a snack downstairs. I got to the top of the stairs, and there she was. I hadn't turned on the main lights, only the nightlight in the hall bathroom was on. With everything so dark, the background of the painting melted into the shadows, but the woman still stood out, with her pale face and white dress. And my stupid, sleepy brain interpreted it as an actual person standing there. I jumped about a foot in the air, and I would have fallen all the way down the stairs had I not caught the banister at the last second. Can we please get rid of that painting? I asked the next morning. Eric turned away from the stove, set the spatula down. Why? Last night, it scared the fuck out of me. I nearly fell down the stairs. He stared at me as if unable to understand. She scared you? He asked slowly. Well, more like startled me. I thought it was actually a person standing there. He looked at me. Then he broke into laughter. And after a few seconds, I started laughing too. It was pretty stupid now that I thought about it. I know I was sleepy, but still, I thought the painting was a person. What, did I think we were being burglarized by a young, beautiful blonde woman in a nightdress? For now, I'll move her into my office. Then you don't have to look at her at all. That sounds good. And for a while after that, things were okay. I sort of noticed Eric spending more time in his office than usual, but he also had a big deadline for a brief coming up. And what? How would that be related to the painting anyway? It's not like he was staring at her for hours on end. Except that's exactly what I caught him doing. One night, he didn't come downstairs to eat dinner with me. I called up to him a few times, no reply. So I went upstairs and walked into his office to find him staring at her. He was just sitting there, his computer closed, no papers on the desk, swivel chair turned towards the woman in the painting. Oh, he said suddenly when I walked in. Then he quickly stood up. I was just about to come down. Just sent in that brief a few minutes ago, and they're really happy with it. He smiled broadly at me, as if nothing were wrong, and then slipped past me. I listened to his footsteps thump down the stairs. Had he actually just finished working, or was he just sitting in here, staring at her? I ultimately decided not to bring it up. The painting was out of sight, and that was great. Besides, I had bigger fish to fry, like my own deadline coming up for an article I hadn't even started. But then, on Friday afternoon, I accidentally overheard him on the phone. His voice was muffled through the thick wooden door, but it wasn't that hard to hear him. He was shouting, almost. I'll have it in by tonight. No, I knew it was due on Wednesday. Well, my wife fell down the stairs. I had to take her to the hospital. Those words sent a chill through me, and I barged in. Why are you lying about me falling down the stairs? His face paled. He ended the call and turned towards me. I'm sorry, Tara, but I needed an excuse. I missed the deadline on that brief, and it's my job on the line. The brief you told me you finished 2 days ago? He nodded silently. I crossed my arms. Look, Eric, your work is your business, but we've spent like all of 1 hour together all week because you've been locked in here all day, every day. I mean, are you even working? Or are you just sitting in here staring at her? His dark eyes locked on mine, and then his voice grew soft. You're jealous of her. What? You shouldn't be, Tara, he said, stepping towards me. The painting makes her prettier than she was. Oh! I froze, stared at him. Then I finally found the words. Are you saying this is a painting of someone you know? Oh, no, he said slowly. Sorry, I misspoke. I meant whoever this is a portrait of, I'm sure it's a flattering likeness. All portraits are flattering like that. Yeah, right. I stared at him, my heart pounding in my chest. Who is this a painting of, Eric? I told you, it's not. Eric, I stepped towards him. My legs felt weak, wobbling underneath me. Who is this a painting of? He only shook his head. Let's see. Let me see how much longer.
No, keep going. I'm so in it. Don't summarize. I want to hear it.
Okay. They say I couldn't sleep that night. I know it sounds silly being so worked up over a painting, but you have to admit it was weird. He was obsessed with this thing for whatever reason. Why didn't I see this painting when we were dating? Did he hide it away in the basement? That was the one place I'd never been. Had he built like a little shrine down there, painting, candles, the whole 9 yards? The thought of it made me sick. Is it an ex-girlfriend? An ex-wife, even, that he never told me about? Getting a painting commissioned must have cost a fortune, especially a huge, detailed one like this. I mean, as much as I hated that thing, it was clearly done by somebody incredibly gifted. The glint in those piercing gray eyes, the small dimple on her right cheek. But clearly he wasn't keeping it to appreciate the artistry. He knew her. And whoever she is, he's obsessed with her. And then I had an idea. I sat up in bed, slowly, quietly, turned to Eric. He was fast asleep. Then I slipped out from under the covers, grabbed my phone from the nightstand, and tiptoed out of the room. My bare feet padded softly across the hallway as I made my way to his office. Then I pushed the heavy wooden door open and stepped inside. The office was cold, much colder than our bedroom. Goosebumps pricked up my bare arms, but I didn't waste any time. I reached over, fumbling across the wall, and hit the switch. The light came on. The blonde woman stared down at me from the wall. Her eyes seemed to follow me as I took Eric's leather chair and dragged it across the hardwood. Once against the wall, I stepped up onto it. We were staring at each other, face to face. I'd never been this close to the painting before, my face inches from hers. This close, I could truly appreciate the detail. Each individual eyelash painstakingly drawn, curving up from its follicle, thread-like striations of light and dark gray filling her irises. Her skin, so pale and creamy, dotted with the tiniest of pores. But I wasn't here to appreciate the artwork. I lifted my phone and took a photo. Then I brought up a reverse image search. It took a few minutes for me to find the right website and upload the photo, but when the results loaded, I gasped. I expected maybe one result if I were lucky, some sort of facial recognition that would match the painted face to a photo. Or maybe the artist's website would come up and mention who the subject was. But instead, dozens of thumbnails filled the page of the exact same painting I'd been staring at for weeks. Fingers trembling, I clicked on the first one. It led to a news article. Search continues for missing Franklin art student. My heart dropped. Little black dots danced in my vision. I collapsed into the chair behind me, trembling, and began to read. Anya Kelsing, 23, went missing after a hike with her boyfriend. The two became separated when they came upon a bear. Her backpack was found roughly a mile from where the sighting occurred, but no trace of Anya was found. And the caption under the painting, Kelsing is a third-year student at Franklin College, majoring in fine arts. She recently completed a self-portrait that was exhibited at the above. I clicked on the next article and the next, but they all said the same thing. Hike, bear, disappearance. All of them showed a photo along with her self-portrait. She looked strikingly identical to her painted likeness. None of them mentioned the boyfriend's name, but it had to be Eric. The most recent article from 5 years ago was a video clip of her parents begging for her search to continue. Sadly, judging by the news articles, it never did. I don't know how long I sat there. All I know is that I was suddenly jolted from my thoughts by a loud thump in the hallway. Footsteps coming to the office. I shot up. He can't find me here. I glanced around the room, looking for some place, any place that I could hide, but it was probably too late. Surely he'd seen the light on from under the door. I ducked under the desk just as he stepped into the room. Tara? I clapped my hand over my mouth, trying to silence my ragged breathing. He's going to see the chair out of place. He knows I'm here. He knows. Tara? You in here? Why did I hide? I could have just said I came in here because I heard a noise, needed a pen, couldn't sleep. Why did I hide? Now he's going to know that I know. Tara? Maybe it's fine. Maybe the bear got Anya. Maybe Eric had nothing to do with it. Isn't that more likely than Eric being a murderer? There you are.
Well,
I looked up and screamed. Eric was crouched there in front of the desk, staring at me. I was looking for a pen, I stuttered lamely. I wanted to write down. I remembered I have to pick up groceries tomorrow, and I needed to add something. He tilted his head, a small smile on his lips. I don't think that's the truth, Tara. Make a break for
no.
it. I started to lunge out from under the desk. His hand quickly shot out and grabbed my wrist, hard. You figured out who she is, didn't you? That's the only reason you'd be hiding from me. I trembled in his grasp. What did you do to her? I whispered. He let out a dry laugh. So you think I'm a murderer? How nice that that's the first conclusion you jumped to. No, I don't think you're a murderer, I swallowed. Stupid. If he killed her and he knows you know, then you're dead too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Just what happened? They didn't find a body. Did the bear get her? He didn't reply, just stared at me silently with cold, dark eyes. I was jealous, I continued desperately, but now I understand. I wish you'd just told me. To lose someone like that, of course you'd want to keep the painting. It's all you have left of her. You should have just left it alone, he said, his tone oddly emotionless. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I screamed as he lunged for me. It's over. His hands were clenched tight on my wrists as he dragged me from under the desk. I pulled back, trying to wrench myself free, but it was no use. Thump. A loud crash sounded behind us. Eric whipped around, and for a split second his grip released. I acted instantly, pulled free from him and ran, pivoting around the desk and racing to the door. As I glanced back, I saw Eric starting after me, but I also saw what had made the noise. The painting of Anya had fallen from the wall. It lay askew on the floor, her gray eyes staring emptily upwards. I was always a fast runner. Eric was only halfway down the stairs by the time I was at the bottom. Bursting out into the cold air, I began to scream. He grabbed me from behind and tried to pull me back inside, but it was too late. Lights were flicking on. Our neighbor rushed out of his house, dialing 911. It was over. The police arrested Eric for assault, and once I told them my story of his obsession with Anya's painting, they were able to search our house. And hidden in his office drawer in a small box was a pair of gold earrings, the same earrings Anya wore on the hike that day. The case is slowly mounting against him. I'm hoping, praying Anya gets justice and that a jury convicts him of her horrible murder. And would he have done the same to me if I hadn't escaped, if Anya's painting hadn't fallen off the wall? There was an explanation, of course. When Eric had moved the painting to his office, he'd mistakenly installed one of the hangers into pure drywall. The weight of the painting had caused it to rip out, and the painting fell. But sometimes I think Anya was watching over me, that her self-portrait carried a piece of her, and that night she'd protected me from falling victim to the monster who ended her life. The painting now hangs in my foyer. Every day I walk by it, and new details pop out at me. The deep, shadowy green of the room behind her, a perfectly painted strand of blonde hair, the glint in her piercing gray eyes. And sometimes I think she's smiling back at me. And
that's so good.
I know.
That's really so well done.
Yeah.
That made me like emotional at the end when you said there was a thump that distracted him. I was like, it's Anya. It's 100% it's Anya.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't care
that's so good.
It was hung in drywall. It was definitely Anya. She was there in spirit.
So good. Oh, I loved that one. Okay, this one is less cute and well done.
But that's to be expected. That's what we want.
So this is definitely written by someone who probably English is not their first language, so I may stumble over some stuff to say it in a different way, so forgive me in advance for that. Okay. This is from Amor Powers, and the title is I Went to Sweden to Meet My Online Friend. Ooh. They say, I was in a random online chat room when I met Jonas. Despite the fact that he was a total stranger, we totally hit it off and became quote unquote internet buddies when he started joking about Game of Thrones spoilers. That and also his sense of decency with conversation compared to some of the pervs who ask for tit pics. It wasn't long enough when, well, okay, this is what I'm saying. It wasn't long enough when he asked me for my Skype account. Like, I don't know what that means. Anyway, he asked for my Skype. It wasn't long before he asked me for my Skype account. See, I have a quote unquote strangers only account, and that's where we exchanged more messages. We started chatting around 2 a.m. He doesn't talk about himself much, but as far as I know, he lives in Sweden. We ended up chatting for almost 5 hours until the sun was up and I needed to get some sleep. So I said goodbye, turned off my computer, and went to bed. When I woke up, I had honestly kind of forgotten about him. I admit that I had had fun talking to him, but you know how it is on the internet. If you're just talking to a stranger who lives, across the continent. I started doing some paperwork and finished around 4 a.m. So I wasn't feeling sleepy at all, decided to enter the same chat room. As I was about to click enter, I remembered Jonas. I closed the window and logged onto Skype, and as soon as I was online, I had received a few messages from him saying the usual, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing?" and Valar Morghulis, so I replied, "Valar Dohaeris," which is a Game of Thrones thing. It took me a few minutes to reply, and so we went on to exchange some messages. After a few hours, he invited me to Cam. At first, I was hesitant, considering that I haven't actually slept and I look kind of haggard. But eventually I said yes. I combed my hair, put on some lipstick just to look decent, and then I called. He was extremely attractive. His eyes were as blue as the Caribbean Sea. His cheeks were a rosy red. His nose was somewhat big, but fit his face. His jawline could cut glass, and I suddenly felt very intimidated. Here I am, video chatting with a super hot guy, while I, a somewhat chubby Asian girl, am shying away from the camera. Eventually, I got comfortable since he kept telling me that I'm cute. After a few more hours, we ended the call and promised each other to talk again the next night. This setup went on for almost a year. The funny thing about it is that I didn't actually hear his voice much. He hates talking about himself and just wanted to know more about me, so it was almost like a one-sided conversation a lot of the time. Well, he told me stories about his day, but not with much detail. He never told me about his work because he said he feels uncomfortable talking about it. He never told me the story of his life or anything like that. We're not even friends on Facebook. We actually don't know each other's accounts even, but it didn't bother me, but there was a side of me that wanted to know more. So one night we're on our usual ritual when he told me that he's in love with me. At first, I didn't know how to even react. I told him that's not possible. We're only talking to each other online and we haven't even met in person. He says, "You told me so much about yourself. I love you. I love your personality. I love your quirkiness. I love how sweet and caring you are. And that even though we're only chatting online, I feel that the connection is real." Then I asked him a question. "Tell me something about yourself that no one knows." It took him a while before I received his reply. "I like pretending to be someone I'm not on the internet." "What do you mean?" "Like on chat sites, when I talk to strangers, I pretend, kind of like role playing." "Well, that's kind of normal, I guess." No, you don't understand. My life is perfect. I get what I want. I achieve my goals. Everything is kind of handed to me on a silver platter, but there's a side of me that no one knows. So I pretend to be someone else online to feel less than, to feel weaker, to feel different. When I'm out with my friends, they can see how successful and contented I am, but behind closed doors, there's just an itch that I can't scratch. She types ... He says, "I want to see you. Come to Stockholm." After 2 months, things kind of evened out, got a little more normal, and I got excited about meeting him. I bought a ticket and flew to Sweden. No words can describe how beautiful Sweden is. The beauty of the place is timeless. The structure of the buildings in the old town, the cobblestones, it's breathtaking. He picked me up at the airport, and when we saw each other, I don't even know what happened, but we started kissing. It was like a scene in a movie. I ran to him, he ran to me. He took me back to his place while he carried my luggage. It was great for 2 weeks. Of course, the inevitable happened. We had sex. I'm not going to go into all the details about it. My first week with Jonas was really unforgettable. He took me to restaurants that he loves. He introduced me to his friends and his family. He introduced me to the culture of Sweden. One night, though, a couple weeks into the trip, I was left all alone in his apartment while he was at work. I decided to surprise him and cook him dinner, and when I was done, I prepared the table and cleaned the kitchen. He's a bit of a neat freak, so he wants everything spotless, and I didn't want to get him angry because of some spilled condiment. So while mopping the floor, I smelled something off, rotten. I followed the stench, and I was directed to a locked cabinet. I'm surprised that I hadn't noticed it before now. I'm not the snooping type, but my senses told me that opening the cabinet would give me something that I've been wanting to know since we've started talking to each other. It just felt like there was a secret there. I looked for a compatible key, and I was about to give up when I felt a loose tile on the kitchen floor. I pulled it off and saw the damn key to the cabinet. And when I opened it, I was mortified. I found fingers. A plastic bag filled with fingers that probably belonged to different women. Other bloodied body parts with most of the parts cut off. Then there were teeth. And the thing that shocked me most, there was a head. And under the pile was a notebook. I opened it and found recipes with human parts as the ingredients. I sat there, not even able to move when I heard the door open. He gasped as he saw me holding the severed head of the woman he murdered. I can explain. She says nothing. Please don't freak out. Why didn't you tell me this? Please, I didn't want to hurt you. I really love you. Why didn't you tell me about this? Please, don't be scared. I'm not. And that's when I realized I found my soulmate, my true love. Someone who shares the same things that I love. Someone who shares the same taste. Happy Valentine's Day! I'm sorry, I don't know what it is with me and the cannibal stories, but it's just they come to me unbidden.
And there are a lot of them.
So many of them. Yeah, a lot of them. So anyway.
Wow.
Happy V-Day, you little freaks.
That was a good one.
The twist. The twist at the end was nice. Mm-hmm. Well, hope you guys are having a love-filled day tomorrow, and we love you. And we'll see you again next week. And until then, stay spooky.
Bye.
Goodbye.